Well, good morning, viewers. Today we have a F150 here that's supposed to be here for ABS and brake warning light coming on. I went to bring it in the shop this morning. I hear the starter clicking. This thing needs a starter. So there's what we've got: service advanced traction control light on, and I see the oil pressure is at 0. There's an oil pressure warning. I wonder if that might be related. Put a scanner on this thing and scan it for codes. So this is a new vehicle I've never scanned before. At least I don't think so. Customer recently purchased this truck. 88,000 kilometers. Wow, that's not very many. Do a code scan. It wants me to do it running. That's our key on, engine off, so I'm going to shut it off. So now we got the key on, engine off, sitting at 13.2 volts. Keep an eye on the battery voltage. Key and ignition switch circuit short, anti-theft. That could be because of an aftermarket car starter. Valid data received from the compass module. Battery voltage below limit. Power steering control mods. It's got electric power steering already in 2011. Wow. So we've got a B1596 service continuous codes, C116A, refer to OEM repair information for code, pressure difference between brake circuits, stability control inhibit, sensor inconsistent with vehicle position yaw rate sensor. Not special. Well, because I have no history on this thing, I'm going to clear all these codes. The scan tool keeps a record of everything. Let's go back. Continue. Clear all codes read by code scan. And see what comes back. I'm going to put a battery charger on it too. "19 controllers, all cleared." Yeah, I'm going to set a battery charger up on this. So now the ABS and red brake warning light are on as well. I've got the vehicle running. Let's see what we got for codes. Memory codes. Service continuous codes. 1596. Let's do a key on, engine off test. So we're doing a key on, engine off test in the ABS module. It'll exercise the pump motor and the solenoids, I imagine. No codes present. Not special. Let's see if we have any codes in the engine related to that oil pressure. It might give me a code for coolant temperature being too low because I just brought it in. Technically, you're supposed to do this with a warm engine. I can't see it setting an oil pressure code now. Yeah, transmission fluid temperature out of self-test range because it's cold. But it's not setting any codes for the oil pressure, so it probably doesn't monitor it. I think that's a standalone problem. Let's do a code scan of all the controllers and see, because I did clear them all. See what it reports now. It's interesting code. Initial configuration not complete. We got the C116A. Two concerns. I don't think this power steering code, maybe a steering angle sensor relearn needs to be performed or something like that. But I'm going to do some research. So according to the service information, the B1596 does not indicate a malfunction of the ABS. If other codes are present, repair them before addressing this DTC. So we've got to look for C116A. C116A. 116A. ABS pressure transducer brake switch mismatch. Interesting. Let's see if there's any cases on that. Probably the pressure switch is arguing with the brake pressure switch. C116A. C116A. The codes can be cleared, but will still reset again as the vehicle starts. The presence of these two codes indicate the ABS module is either seeing brake system pressure increase while the brake pedal is not applied, or to see the brake pedal apply and no increase in pressure. It's exactly what I said it was. So let's look at the diagnostic information. Go back to the ABS and look in the ABS data and see if we have status of the brake pressure and the status of the brake pedal switch. They're arguing with each other. Maybe just a faulty brake pedal pressure switch. The vehicle may not support all PIDs. Imagine that. ABS main brake pressure is 3,150. I'm not sure if that's normal or not. Steering wheel angle is negative 27 degrees. That's it. That's all the data list. Well, I'm going to look around in here. So in the data list, the only thing it shows is the status of the brake pedal off right now, which it is. Let me go step on the brake and see if that changes. Yes, it does. I didn't see a pressure increase. I'm wondering what that brake pressure should be reading. ABS main brake pressure. I don't see any other pressure readings here. That didn't change. Stepping on the brake. Oh yeah, it did change. I'm repeatedly stepping on the brake pedal. Exhausted the vacuum from the brake booster, so I got less pressure, but it does. I got a funny feeling that ABS main brake pressure reading should be zero, but I'm not 100% certain of that. Have a look at some cases on this. So looking at the troublemaker chart, it says to monitor the ABS data pin for brake switch status, and it should indicate on when the brake pedal is applied and off when it's not applied, and that's working. So then it says go to on when brake pedal is applied and off when brake pedal. Refer to section. Yes. Enter the diagnostic mode in the scan data logger ABS. With brake pedal not applied, record the pressure displayed by the brake pressure pin. Less than 275 for 40 psi. Well, it's not. Right now in PSI, it's 3,194. So I was right. That's supposed to be less than 40. Oh, no. Install a new HCU, the hydraulic control unit. Yeah, great. Looking at cases on this thing. Oops. That seems to be the general consensus. The pressure sensor in the hydraulic control unit. Pressure transducer is integral to the hydraulic control unit, sends a signal to the ABS module that varies in relation to the amount of pressure applied to the brake pedal. The more pressure applied, the greater the signal sent to the ABS. If a new pressure transducer is needed, then a new HCU must be installed. Isn't that special? So it's indicating brake pressure when there's no brake pedal applied. That's why we got this C116A. See if there's any cases on it. I think there were. Code can be cleared, but will reset again. Presence of these two codes indicate the ABS module is either seeing brake system pressure increase while the brake pedal is not applied, or it is seeing the brake pedal applied and no increase. Monitor the brake pressure grid with your scan tool with the brake pedal not applied. There should be less than 275 kilopascals of pressure. If there's significantly higher pressure than this minimum spec verified by the brake pedal linkage is not binding. Well, it's not. Brake pressure is still showing higher than 275. Replace the ABS control module. ABS control module, because the brake pressure sensor is integral to the unit. It cannot be serviced separately. So here's one case where they changed the ABS control module and hydraulic unit. Both. Well, let's have a look at where this thing lives. We're back working on this 2011 F150 with the ABS problem. And I sourced a previously enjoyed ABS pump motor assembly. Now, it is serviced with two separate components. There's the electronic portion of it here that's sold separately from the hydraulic portion. And according to the troubleshooting chart, it says to replace the hydraulic unit. But I found online a number of cases where this particular fault code was fixed by replacing the module or sending the module to a place in California to have it physically repaired. This module is $1,200 Canadian, and the hydraulic unit is $2,250 Canadian. That's kind of expensive. So I've got this previously enjoyed one. We're going to plug it in. I know it will have to be flash programmed. We're going to plug it in and make sure that the pressure reading in it is okay. And then I'm going to try just swapping the electronic portion of it, and we'll do a PMI to relearn the programming. I should be able to do that with my Think Tool Pro. Okay, so we're looking at memory codes in the ABS unit now. You might have a VIN mismatch code. Service continuous vacuum pump control circuit open, VIN mismatch. I don't think this has a vacuum pump, so this may have came off of a different engine, but nevertheless, let's look at the data. I'm curious as to whether or not the pressure data looks normal, because it's not supposed to be more than 40 psi. The other one was reading 3,100 and change. ABS main brake pressure is 0. All right, so we'll try a PMI on this module, and then we'll switch the module and see if that fixes it. So I'm hopefully able to use this Think Tool Pro Plus to do a PMI. I've got the original module reconnected. It's auto IDing. Quick access. So basically what this involves is recording the programming from the original module, and of course it won't work if the original module is completely dead. And let's see, ABS, where is the ABS? And the Snap-on scanner doesn't support this. Special functions, programmable module installation. I got a clean battery charger. Program is set, new module configuration parameters. Please select if the available original module is still installed in the vehicle, but sure the module currently installed is the old one that needs to be replaced. It is. Switch to on, key off. Okay. Install a new module. Okay, so the new module is installed. Turn the key on. Say okay. Procedure succeeded. So don't require any kind of subscription to do this. Key off. Now there might be another interactive vehicle dynamics initialization sequence that needs to be performed, but we're going to wait for now. And we're going to read fault codes. I got to turn the key back on. Vacuum pump control circuit A open. Didn't have that code before. Let's try clearing it. Well, I don't know. We didn't have that vacuum pump code before, unless it's because there's no vacuum in the vacuum pump. I don't want to start this thing because I got to drain the transmission fluid. Let's see. We don't have that VIN mismatch code. Select all. Got no pressure. Brake booster vacuum pump relay on. Well, let's try installing this module on the ABS unit. So there are 4 E8 screws that hold the module on there. I think this is the pressure transducer. That would make sense, but there's circuitry in the ABS module, so I'm hoping we can just swap the module, because then that doesn't involve opening up the hydraulic circuits at all. So I've got the old module off. I'm going to swap this reused one on there and see what happens. Well, there's a result. 25,164 kilopascals. So that hydraulic unit needs to be replaced. Well, we do have it. That's what the troubleshooting steps did say, but I found a couple of cases where that specific code was fixed by just changing the module, but it appears not. Oh well. So there's the new used unit installed. I had to heat up every line with the torch as the line was rusted into the fitting. Work them back and forth so they don't twist the lines off. 3 bolts hold the pump assembly to the frame rail, 1 from up top here and 2 from the side, 10 mil heads. I pressure bled it up to the ABS unit, and I'm going to turn the key on and see what kind of hocus pocus we got going on now. So we've got 0 kilopascals now on the, but we have 3 continuous memory codes. Let's go back. Clear fault memory. And read fault codes. Vacuum pump control circuit A. We didn't have that code before, 258AEO, AE0. I wonder if we need to do this interactive vehicle dynamics initialization sequence. Ensure the vehicle is parked on a level surface. Don't shake or bounce the vehicle. Ensure that you are not pressing the brake pedal. Okay, I don't want to start the engine because I got to drain the transmission fluid out of it. And it's been sitting in this spot since yesterday, so I don't want to circulate transmission fluid. So I did some more research last night. Turns out that that ABS module that I installed used was off a 3.5, and the 3.5 uses a vacuum pump. The 3.7 and the 5 liter don't. So my theory is that the circuitry is probably built into the electronic control module, and it's not seeing the relay installed. So I was going to try and install the relay, and I thought, you know what? I'll just put the original module onto the used hydraulic unit. So we got no codes now. And if we look at data, interestingly, when I reinstalled this used module, the codes were still present in the module. So the codes don't erase by disconnecting the battery. ABS brake pressure 0, and brake on off. So I'm running a run while I fill the transmission fluid. So I'm going to climb up inside and step on the brake pedal. Applying the brake, releasing the brake, applying the brake, releasing the brake. So it seems to be working good now. I just got to pressure bleed the entire brake system now because there's still some air entrapped in the system.